right now on 5 on your side at 10.
Storms eased all that heat for many of us late this afternoon. The weather impact alert, though, continues Wednesday as the heat and humidity return in full force.
A district in disarray. St. Louis students still left in limbo just weeks before school starts. Tonight, the teachers union weighs in. Our top story, finally free. Just hours ago, Christopher Dunn walked out of prison, a hug from his mom, 34 years in the making.
I never gave up because my family never gave up.
He spent 3 decades behind bars for a murder he says he didn't commit. Tonight, Christopher Dunn is home. Good evening. I'm Mike Bush.
And I'm Kelly Jackson. This comes a week after his murder conviction was overturned and an 8-day legal battle blocking his release. 5 on your side's Justina Coronel was there when Dunn walked out a free man. Justina.
Well, Christopher Dunn says there aren't enough words to really describe the feeling of being free. And tonight, he's home after being away for 34 years. Christopher Dunn breathes this moment in. It's his first moment out.
It's easy to give up in prison when you lose hope. But when the system chooses to throw you away, you have to ask yourself if you're willing to just settle for it or you're going to fight for it.
And he fought for 3 decades.
St. Louis, we did it.
We did it. Dunn always claimed his innocence from a 1991 murder conviction. Now a judge has exonerated him for a crime he never committed.
I never gave up because my family never gave up.
Dunn's wife stood by his side on the steps of the Carnahan courthouse in the very same place that put him away.
But at the same time, for my family, for standing behind me for all these years, I cannot forget my wife, who has stuck with me through thick and thin, through it all.
Dunn held his mom in his arms once again.
It was great. It was great.
He was supposed to hug her sooner. Last week, a St. Louis judge ordered his release. In his newest suit, Dunn was about to walk out, but the Attorney General stalled the case with an appeal.
Only to be brought back into the prison, it was torture.
On Tuesday, the Missouri Supreme Court gave Dunn the green light to come back home once the St. Louis Circuit Attorney cleared his charges. I asked Dunn if he had any words for the Attorney General.
Have a nice life.
Speaking to a crowd of reporters, Dunn admits he's looking ahead.
For those who participated in my prosecution, I forgive you. I'm not going to forget, but I do forgive you. But at the same time, I got to move on with my life too. I got a life to live now. And it's time to move forward. But until then, y'all take care. And don't forget those that still left behind.
Now, I asked him what he wanted to do first, and he said he wanted a St. Louis baseball cap and to go to Busch Stadium. Now, we did reach out multiple times to the Attorney General's office, and we have not heard back. Reporting live, Justina Coronel, 5 on your side.
Here's a live look downtown St. Louis. The threat of severe thunderstorms has ended.
However, we remain in a weather impact alert for the ongoing threat of extreme heat and humidity. Let's get straight over to Chief Meteorologist Scott Connell with the latest.
Well, the one thing those thunderstorms did do earlier today as they rolled into the metro area took the edge off the heat, at least for a little while late this afternoon into this evening. The wind gusted to 40 miles per hour out at Chesterfield at Spirit of St. Louis. Most of us, though, did not see a whole lot of rainfall for an extended period of time, just enough to knock those temperatures down. They're not staying down. The humidity certainly didn't go anywhere. The excessive heat warning continues for the metro area until 7 o'clock Thursday. Basically, we're talking that heat index, 105 to 110 degrees during the afternoon hours. That becomes, especially since tomorrow will be the third and Thursday, the 4th day with this, it's one of those cumulative effects on us. So tonight, we're still around 80 degrees. We're not expecting temperatures to drop much. The chances for showers and thunderstorms, they've now pretty much dissipated. There might be a stray shower off to the north of St. Louis. But for those of you that work outside tomorrow, here's the big heads up. It's going to get hot just like it did today very quickly. But unlike today, clouds are not going to be rolling in the afternoon and thunderstorms will not develop, which means upper 90s close to 100 and the heat index 105 to 110 degrees. We have to stay hydrated and try to spend some time in air conditioning. Check on your senior neighbors, too, to make sure they're staying safe. Kelly?
All right, Scott. St. Louis students head back to school in less than 3 weeks, and tonight uncertainty surrounding the district remains. The teachers union held a news conference today to address the recent financial and leadership turmoil.
5 on your side's Laura Barcheski shares how they're preparing for the first day of school despite the challenges.
The American Federation of Teachers Local 420 says they're doing what they can to support their members and St. Louis Public Schools as they keep their eyes on a new school year.
I have to be clear that education, the safety of St. Louis school children are our #1 priority. That comes first for us.
The financial state of the district has been discussed publicly, going from a $17 million surplus and now could run a $35 million deficit. Spokesperson Byron Clemens says they are not concerned about the district's financial situation and reassures teachers their contracts and salaries have not been affected.
We don't concur that there's a budget deficit at this time. There's a rainy day fund with a significant amount of money in it.
Getting kids to and from school is another concern. The previous transportation company ended their contract early and an emergency plan was put in place. On Monday, the school board president says they're doing their best to make sure students are in class day one.
We're dealing with our 18 vendors that we're working with. We have a plan in place. The board has voted and approved that plan. So we're working and we need all hands on deck.
Clemens says while they're not in charge of transportation, they're doing what they can to help outside of school hours.
Right now, we're in negotiations with the district for before and after care. That has been an issue that we've looked at.
And when it comes to matters involving Superintendent Dr. Keisha Scarlett, the union supports the investigation.
We have some concerns about what may or may not have happened with spending on the 10 to 20 people that Dr. Scarlett brought in, but that's not in our purview right now. It's only 20 days to the opening of school, and we have to prepare for that.
Reporting in St. Louis, Laura Barcheski, 5 on your side.
For the 11th consecutive year, Clemens says they're reviving the mentor program for new teachers. The initiative pairs novice educators with experienced mentors, and this year welcomes 50 new participants to the support network. The investigation into the CVPA school shooting is officially closed, and tomorrow police will release 2 videos from the October 2022 shooting. Police and city officials have warned that the video may re-traumatize viewers. St. Louis Public Schools have said they will have mental health resources available.
Tonight, dozens gathered in Chicago to support the family of Sonia Massey. She was shot and killed by Sangamon County Sheriff's Deputy Sean Grayson July 6. Now, activists, including the Reverend Al Sharpton, are starting a fund to support Massey's children. Sharpton and others also called for police reform across the country.
Multiple teams are out surveying storm damage in St. Clair County. Severe weather earlier this month caused flooding across much of the Metro East. Now FEMA and other agencies are estimating how much it'll cost to fix the damage to homes and roads. FEMA officials say it could be months before funding makes it to homeowners. Well, dozens of dogs swam to survive that flooding in St. Clair County.
And tonight they are still in need of forever homes. New at 10. 5 on your sides, Robert Townsend has the nonprofit animal shelter's latest plea for help.
For the past 2 weeks, Gateway Pet Guardians here in East St. Louis has been packed with dozens of pooches. And that's why the folks here are pleading to people to come adopt a pet or foster one.
The need is just very dire. If we can't move animals, we can't continue to save some off the streets.
On July 16th, floodwaters rushed through the St. Clair County Animal Shelter and nearly 70 dogs swam to survive. Lots of animal lovers pitched in and fostered the dogs for 2 weeks. But now that time has lapsed and about 20 dogs are returning to the already overcrowded shelter that currently has no open kennels. Gateway Pet Guardians hopes more people open their hearts and give these guys homes. The dogs range from 1 to 3 years old.
We are always in the need. This will never stop. Animals need rescued every day, and it's super simple. We make it simple for you. Just walk on into our open hours at Gateway Pet Guardians, and we're there to help you every step of the way.
So right now you can go to KSCK.com, click on this story under the As Seen on TV section, and you'll find a link to Gateway Pet Guardians website. You'll also soon see those photos of all those cute dogs ready to be adopted or fostered. In East St. Louis, Robert Townsend, 5 on your side.
Tomorrow is the last day. Gateway Pet Guardians has reduced adoption fees for shelter pets to $50 for adult dogs and cats. All you have to do is show up at the shelter on North 15th Street between 2 and 6 p.m.
The city earnings tax. Workers at Busch Stadium have to pay. What about the highest paid employees on the field? We verify. It's a spectator sport at the Olympics, where the pursuit is for pins, not medals.
It's an incredible way of breaking down barriers.
The St. Louis pastor headed to his 11th Olympic Games to spread the word.
Dangerous heat and humidity levels return for a couple more days. If a break in this pattern arrives, in time for the weekend.